Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you at, this message is for you. My name is Diane, aka Deek the Jeweler, and I'm here to drop some jewels on you. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to Azimir, the podcast for those guys in their 20s, 30s, and beyond who want to actually win at life. No motivational fluff, no endless therapy session, just straight talk with practical tools you can actually use. Today we're going to be talking about stepping into leadership, building up the next generation. This is about becoming a man who doesn't just survive, but leads. He leads himself, his family, and his circle, and he leaves something stronger behind. A legacy of greatness. Not the loud, chest-beating guy, alpha male, not the passive, just let it flow version either. Real masculine leadership that protects, provides, and raises the next generation better than we were raised. This episode builds directly on the last episode where we tore down the lies that society tells you about success. I'm giving you the 5 keys that actually work. Whether you're coming out of a tough stretch, raising kids, or trying to become the man that you needed when you were young. Now, I grew up the middle child of 11 children. At the young age of 8, I was already aware enough to realize that you gotta put in your own work around here. I still remember when I got my first job, or at least that's the way I saw it. I walked into a barbershop, asked one of the barbers, "Hey, are you guys hiring?" And I remember them all looking at me laughing like, "Look at this little kid." But I was dead serious. I wanted so bad to help out my family, and I was willing to do whatever I could to be a part of the solution and not the problem. I did well in school, but I also acted out. The suspension, being bullied wasn't no option for me, because I knew if I went back home and told somebody took my sneakers, I ain't do nothing about it, it was going to be an issue. For me, it was a no-brainer. You bother me, man, good luck. By the age of 11, I was already dibbling and dabbling in the streets. So I done figured out that if I do a little of this, I make a lot of this, man, it was over after that. I graduated from getting suspended. Started going to group home, detention centers, jail. I finally started going to prison. My last bid, I was sentenced to 9 years. That last one was the last one, because I told myself, never again. The point of all of this, though, is that I learned leadership the hard way. Sometimes by watching what not to do, and others by stepping up when no one else would or could. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a clear playbook on how to step into leadership and to build the next generation stronger. If you're ready to stop reacting and start leading, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. For a long time, I confused loudness and street savvy with leadership. Quick reactions, trying to prove myself, getting into things that I knew was going to get me in trouble. Now, sure, it got me attention at times. Sometimes the attention I like, more often than not, it got me the attention I did. And that attention that I didn't was the reason why I got my butt locked up multiple times. Now, when I was inside, I watched a lot of brothers fold under pressure. And then I also seen some guys become most respected dudes in the room. The difference wasn't size or money. It was who can lead themselves first and then guide the people around them. See, that's when it clicked for me. Real leadership isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself, so you can raise, protect, and inspire the next generation. Your kids, little brother, little sister, the young ones watching you right now. Whether you're coming home from a long day, raising your own children, or just trying to break a cycle. These 5 keys will help you step into that role. No fake alpha talk, but practical moves that you can make that'll change things for you significantly right now. Key number 1 is to lead yourself first. Discipline over motivation. You can't pour into the next generation if your own life is chaos. What works is build non-negotiable daily habits, even small ones at first. Own your schedule, your health, own your word. Stop waiting to feel like a leader. After coming home from doing those 7 years, I had to relearn waking up with purpose instead of reacting to whatever the day was going to throw at me. Key number 2, communicate with calm authority. Loud doesn't mean strong. Quiet don't mean weak. With work, speak clearly and directly. No yelling, No mumbling. Listen first, then guide the conversation. Say what you mean and then follow through. My old ways were argumentative and just reaction. Learning how to stay calm, change how my family and people around me were responding. Key number 3, take responsibility even when it's not your fault. Real leaders own the outcome, not just the blame. What works when things go wrong, I always ask myself, what can I control now? Protect your people's feelings, their minds, and their inner peace instead of pointing fingers. Fix it first, explain later. After years of that street life nonsense and that time inside owning my part, instead of blaming the system and other people, was one of the most difficult but liberating things to do. Key number 4, set clear standards, boundaries, and enforce them. Weak boundaries create weak generations. What works? Decide what you will and won't accept. At home, with your kids, at work, I don't care. You set those boundaries, you stand on them. You let that be known. This right here is that line you do not cross. Again, we're enforcing calmly but consistently, not with anger. That's not even necessary. That's how you lead by example. Coming from a big family of 11, seeing what happens when standards are thrown out the window, set in mind, change how I showed up for the younger ones watching me. Key number 5, pour into the next generation intentionally. Leadership without legacy is just ego. Teach skills, values, and discipline by doing them with your kids or your younger brothers and sisters. So you gotta share your story. The wins, mistakes, so they don't repeat them. Create traditions that build strength and belonging. After coming home, I made it my business to be the man I needed in my life when I was young. That's the real work, fellas. Breaking cycles instead of repeating them or passing them on. All right, brothers, your leadership and legacy starter plan. Do these this week. Number 1, pick one daily non-negotiable habit. Lock it in for 7 days. Lead yourself first. Number 2, practice speaking one thing clearly. Number 3, take responsibility for one situation this week. Fix what you can. Number 4, write down one standard you're raising this month. Tell someone close to you so they can hold you accountable to it. Number 5, teach or share one skill with someone younger that you know. Even 3 of these start shifting the way that the younger generation around you starts to notice you. They'll see you differently and respect you for it. Now, stepping into leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being the man who always shows up, owns his life, and builds something better for those who's coming up after him. I went from fighting in school, running the streets at the age of 11, to doing serious time, and still had to learn to lead the right way. You don't have to wait to hit rock bottom, champ. Start leading yourself today. Speak with calm authority, own your outcomes, set the standard, pour into the next generation with purpose. The young ones watching, they need that version of you. You've got the strength already. Now step into it and build the next generation stronger with me. Now if this hit home, drop a review, leave a comment. If you got any questions, please feel free to share. Also, share this with one brother that you know need to hear it right now. Next episode, we're going to keep building with the tools that every man needs. This is as a man. Step into leadership. Build the next generation. Be good to yourself, fellas. If you can't be good, be great. Peace.